The scary truth about MLB's 2026 breakout stars is that while everyone's busy talking about Gunnar, Henderson, Jackson Chourio, and Paul Skenes, the names ESPN won't stop pushing, they're completely missing what's coming next. Every single year, the same thing happens. The obvious stars get all the attention, the hype gets louder, the expectations get higher. And then, out of nowhere,
Actions a career high on the 4th of July!
Someone else takes over the league, not the guy on the cover of MLB The Show. The breakout nobody saw coming until it was too late. Like in 2025, when Cal Raleigh went from a solid catcher to a legitimate MVP candidate.
There goes number 32.
Or when Paul Skenes didn't just win Rookie of the Year, he finished top 3 in Cy Young voting and looked like the most dominant arm in baseball. Even Geraldo Perdomo, a guy almost nobody was talking about, quietly put up a 7-WAR season and became one of the most valuable players in the league. No hype, no headlines, just production. And that's the part nobody's talking about, because the next superstar, he's never the obvious choice. He's the guy hiding in plain sight, the one buried in a lineup, the one about to make a leap nobody saw coming. You just have to know where to look. So without wasting your time, these are the 10 players ready to break out in 2026. And if you're sleeping on them now, trust me, you won't be for long.
Hey guys, this is Jose from Baseball Unleashed. Hey, we're building something special here for all baseball fans. We're going to provide you guys the best MLB content throughout the 2026 season. Hit that subscribe button because you're not going to want to miss out what's next.
So who's it going to be this year? Who's the guy nobody's talking about that suddenly becomes impossible to ignore by July? Let's start with one of the easiest names to overlook.
Master of spin. And that slide.
A pitcher who barely made any noise in 2025. But quietly got better every single time he touched the mound. Nolan McLean. This one's personal for New York Mets fans. Because if you've been paying attention, and honestly most people haven't, you've already seen flashes of something different.
And Diggler goes down. Got him looking. He's way out.
McLean came up in 2025 with zero fanfare. No hype, no headlines. Just a big arm, a funky delivery, and the kind of stuff that makes you lean forward when he takes the mound. He was not polished. The command came and went. Some outings look like a future ace. Others look like a guy who needed 2 more years in the minors. But here's what the numbers don't tell you. Every start, he got better. In small, quiet ways. Hunter Brown had that exact same arc in Houston. Raw, inconsistent, easy to overlook. Until he wasn't. Until suddenly, he was anchoring a playoff rotation. McLean is trending in that exact direction. The Mets don't have a clear ace right now. The rotation is wide open. And in situations like that, somebody always steps up. It's just never the guy you expect. And if McLean is the quiet breakout nobody's watching, this next guy is buried so deep, most people don't even realize he exists.
Here in the first. 2-2 is
Ryan Weathers has always been that guy. The there's something there guy. The if he figures it out guy. But he never strung it together long enough for anyone to fully buy in. Now, the dude's in New York, buried in a loaded Yankees rotation. Garrett Cole, Carlos Rodon, depth everywhere. No clear path to innings. Except, there's always a path. There always is. Just ask Brian Wu. He wasn't supposed to matter in Seattle either, until he got his shot and made himself impossible to ignore. Weathers has that same opportunity.
swing and a miss. 96 up.
The fastball's ticking up. The slider's sharper. The confidence is just different. But by July, they might not be able to stop. So I'm curious on this one. Which pitcher in the MLB has the best chance to completely break out in 2026? Not just be good, but take over. Drop your pick below. But sometimes a breakout doesn't come from a new pitch, it comes from a new environment. A few years ago, Shane Baz was supposed to be the future. Electric stuff, triple-digit heat.
Record of 8-7, an ERA of 4.61.
The kind of arm that made scouts say, if he stays healthy. Well, he didn't. Injuries, setbacks, lost time. And just like that, people moved on. But then something changed. Baltimore called.
Just looking at watching the bullpens the last 2 days, and just being around the guys and their demeanor and, their attitudes, I think it can be as good as any rotation in the game.
The Orioles have quietly become one of the best pitching development systems in baseball. And Baz, now he's in that system. This is actually feeling a lot like Jesus Luzardo, a talented arm, stuck, inconsistent, written off until the right organization unlocked him. That's the blueprint. If Baz stays healthy, he's not just a breakout, the dude's gonna be a problem. But not every breakout is about fixing something. Some guys, they arrive already built. Roman Anthony is different.
Way out of here. Roman Anthony with a home run.
Because this doesn't feel like a project, it feels inevitable. The Red Sox haven't had a homegrown star like this in a hot minute. And when he came up in 2025, he didn't look overwhelmed. He looked ready. The swing is clean. The discipline is advanced. The approach, it's polished. Most rookies have holes. Anthony just doesn't. That's what makes this scary. It honestly feels a lot like Michael Bush in 2025.
Michael Bush, goodbye.
Came up, produced, and instead of regressing, he got even better. Anthony isn't trying to figure it out, cause he already has. So be honest, is Roman Anthony setting himself up to be a top 10 player in baseball? Like, no debate. But while Anthony feels safe, the next guy might be the most dangerous pitcher on this entire list.
Yankees. Swing and a miss. Struck him out.
So here's the thing about Chase Burns. He didn't explode in 2025. And that's exactly why some people stopped paying attention. He came up, looked solid, nothing crazy. And in today's game, if you're not dominant immediately, people just move on. That's a mistake, because we've seen this before. Yoshinobu Yamamoto didn't dominate instantly either. Then year 2 happened, and suddenly, World Series MVP. Burns is entering that exact phase. The fastball still sits 100. The slider is still elite. The command is improving, and if Burns is about to take a leap, the next guy might skip the process entirely. You know what's terrifying? A pitcher who throws 102.
1-2. Got him.
And that's not even his best pitch. Mizorowski's slider is just unfair. The kind of pitch that makes hitters look completely lost. The Brewers have built a reputation for developing arms. But this just might be different. Because this feels like Paul Skenes all over again. Everyone knew Skenes was good, but nobody expected him to dominate immediately. Mizorowski kinda has that same presence. That same, this guy isn't normal energy. If the command holds, you're looking at a rookie ace right now. Alright, enough pitching. Because the next breakout might come from a name nobody outside Toronto is even thinking about. Addison Barger has been there. Buried in the system, moving around, waiting. Until 2025. That's when something changed. The at-bats got better. The discipline improved. The power started showing up. And suddenly, he looked like a different player. This is exactly how Geraldo Perdomo broke out. No hype whatsoever. Then out of nowhere, 7 WAR. That's the kind of jump Barger is set up for. Nobody's watching, but trust me, they will be. And if Barger is the quiet breakout, the next guy is the total opposite. If you follow college baseball, you already know. Caglianone isn't normal. A 6'5" slugger who also closed games.
3-2. Off speed, smoked.
The Kansas City Royals didn't just draft talent, they drafted chaos. It kind of feels like Junior Caminero. Came up and immediately started mashing. Caglianone has that same power, that same presence. And if he arrives in 2026, the Royals lineup might become terrifying overnight. But raw power isn't the only way to break out. Sometimes it's tools. Pure, explosive tools.
The Spider-Man skills back on his home turf.
Going, he reaches out.
He stepped towards home plate and makes another catch.
If you're not watching the A's, you've probably never seen this guy. But you should. Clark is electric. Speed, power, arm strength. The kind of athlete who changes games instantly. Yeah, he strikes out. But we've all seen that story before. Pete Crow Armstrong had the same questions, until he figured it out. If Clark can make that same adjustment, he's not just exciting, the dude's gonna be a star. And if Clark is the unknown name, the final player, you already know him. You just don't realize what's coming next. Let's start with a name you already know, Elly De La Cruz, the Cruz Missile himself. If you think you've seen the best of Ellie, well, you haven't. Not even close.
And he drills this ball high, far.
In 2024, he became just the 5th player since 1900 to go 20 homers and 60 steals. The tools were never the question, but in 2025, the league adjusted. Strikeouts climbed, average dipped. For the first time, Ellie looked human. And that's when people started doubting him. That's when people started saying maybe he's all flash. But we've seen this before. Cal Raleigh. Same questions, same doubts. Then everything clicked.
At the wall, God!
That's where Ellie is right now. If the adjustments stick, you're not just looking at a fun player anymore. You're looking at the most dangerous player in baseball. So here's the big one. Out of all 10 names, who is your 2026 breakout star? And who do you think I completely missed? Drop it in the comments, because I'm reading all of them. And that's the list. 10 names, 10 players flying under the radar. Some are gonna hit, and some won't. That's just baseball. But a few of those guys, they're about to take over the league. And when they do, you'll remember where you heard it first.